Alright, so let's get serious. For real though, let's get serious. I like to call this deep thoughts. And just a heads up, it's not about the trail really. I mean, kind of it is, but it's just thoughts that I've been thinking about on trail, and if you don't want to hear it, cool, skip this video or fast forward. But if you do want to listen to what I've been thinking and my thoughts, grab a 6-pack or a bottle of wine and I'll wait for you, because I got a lot to say. And I still don't know if I'm gonna post this or not. It's pretty personal, and yeah, I hope my ex-wife Gigi and ex-girlfriend Yana don't mind me posting this stuff. But I want to be real. I want to tell y'all what I'm thinking, and yeah, so let's get started. So on the 4th day, I think it was, I actually broke down, and not a mechanical failure, but a emotional failure. I was riding along and I was listening to some Trevor Hall, kind of a new artist that I've been listening to. Pretty chill, pretty cool. And a new song came on I've never heard before, called Angels Rays. And it just hit me. All these emotions came in, and I just started crying and crying for like 5-10 minutes. I just stopped on trail and just let it all out, and I felt good to just, let it out. I had a feeling it would happen sooner or later, and the song was just perfect. Like, it mentioned the mountains and the sun's rays and the missing someone, and I've recently broken up with my German girlfriend a couple months ago, and one of the reasons I wanted to do this trip was just so I could be by myself and think and figure out what I want in life and what I need in life. And yeah, so I'm just basically talking out loud right now. It may or may not make sense, I don't know. Because yeah, I miss my ex-girlfriend. She was awesome. She was everything I wanted. I miss waking up and making tostados con tomate and juggling every day with her, and her cute smile and eyes and everything. But let's rewind it a little bit, and I want to first talk about my. I've had a lot of relationships in the past, some serious, some not so serious. But my 2 most serious ones, I just want to kind of talk about them a little bit. My first one is my ex-wife, Gigi Edgley. I was living in Los Angeles, and I just happened to go to this bar, and I had a broken foot from Unicycle, or sprained foot, and this beautiful lady came up and offered me a stool, and started talking and asked how I broke it, and I said unicycling. She's like, oh, I kind of grew up around the circus. My dad's Michael Edgley from Australia, and he brought in bunch of world famous shows and acts, and he has the Michael Edgley's Moscow Circus, and I know how to fire spin, and And so instantly we just had a lot in common, and yeah, it was just like the sparks were flying, and we started dating, and then I realized after we started dating, like, I figured out her name and I Googled it, and the first thing that popped up was like the front cover of this FHM magazine, and I was just blown away. And then I was like, damn, I'm dating a supermodel actress. And I learned that she was an actress in Hollywood, and she was on Farscape as Chiana, and that went for a long time, and it's kind of like Star Trek but different, and a huge cult following, and it did really good, and she was one of the main female actresses, and so life was good. She brought me over to Australia, kind of introduced me to the Down Under, and I loved it over there. And I knew street performing was good, so, you know, we went over there to meet her family and friends, and I street performed in Sydney, and it was awesome. I was doing pretty good, and she ended up doing an audition over there, and she got like one of like the lead roles on a new TV shows called Rescue Special Ops, and she asked if I wanted to move to Australia, and I'm like, yes, let's do it. And so we moved over there, and we lived there for 5 years, and it was just beautiful. If you've never been, definitely put it on your to-do list, because it's beautiful. It's like the US, but better. Like, it's just, the people are nice, the beaches, it's clean, it's just awesome. And we had a great life. We lived together. That series went for a couple years, I think 3 seasons. And then she got another lead role for another new show called Tricky Business, and we're going to all these red carpet events, and I was street performing and doing good, and we're both happy, and it was great. And then I felt like it was time that we should get married and maybe start a family and have some kids. And so I proposed on Dunk Island, and she said yes, and it was awesome, and we started planning this amazing wedding. Like, it was almost too good to be true, to be honest, because of her new series. Women's Day was going to give us a lot of money to do an article on our wedding, and, you know, send a photographer out and get the exclusive photos and story from the wedding, and because of that, we planned for like this just over the top wedding. Looking back, it was pretty silly, and we spent all this money doing all this. We planned to get married in Maui because it's, you know, a halfway point from Australia and the US, so both families could meet in the middle, and it's beautiful in Maui. Like, if you've never been, that's also another place to put on your to-do list. And yeah, the bill, you know, just kept getting bigger and bigger, but we knew, or we thought we had this, you know, good deal with this magazine, and so it's like, okay, they're gonna pay for most of it or half of it, so that's fine. Well, right before we ended up getting married, her series got canceled, basically. Like, it went just for the one season, and then they said no more. And because of that, the magazine deal backed out, and we didn't have any like contracts with them yet. So they were gonna give us, you know, $50,000, and now they're only gonna give us $10,000 or something ridiculous. And by that time, we had already spent, like, I don't know, $70,000, $80,000 on this one day. So that was unfortunate. And I mean, looking back, the wedding, I mean, it was definitely one of the best weddings ever in the world. It was amazing. We had everything we wanted. We had our family and friends there. It was over the top. If you actually YouTube Jamie Mossinger and Gigi Edgley wedding, there's like a little promo video on YouTube still. You can see the highlights of it, but it was, I mean, still one of the best days of my life. But that was the peak. And after that, it's weird. Once you get married, things just kind of go downhill. At least for us, we had all this debt, which was stupid. If you ever get married, don't spend a lot of money. It's one day. Like, have a party with all your family and friends, but don't go over the top. It's just not worth it. You'll end up, it'll put stress on the relationship, and yeah, it's, you know, like we had like $70,000 worth of debt after we got married. And most of it was on credit cards because we didn't have the money, and I was street performing, and she was now trying to get a job, and you know, it was hard to keep up on all our payments, but we're surviving. We're doing okay, and we're still living in Australia. And then she ended up getting a Jim Henson, like a reality TV show, and she was going to be the host, and it was going to be shot in Hollywood. So she was like, let's move to Hollywood. And I didn't really want it, to be honest. I loved Australia. I wanted to stay there, but you know, like, I can work wherever I want, kind of, and she had this opportunity, so we moved over there. And that's when things really got ugly. You know, the first couple months were okay. I was trying to work Venice Beach. It's just the worst place to street perform. It's just negative energy. It's just terrible. There's druggies, homeless people, dirty. You can make okay money, but the other street performers are just terrible to each other. Mainly the break dancers, calypso tumblers, you know who you are. They would threaten me every day, hit me, steal my stuff. You know, I'm trying to do a positive show, and they're like just making me sad and mad and threatening my life and my car. And this went on for like a year, and I was like, I would come home crying some days because I was just devastated. I was just like, I didn't want to live there in LA. Like, no offense to the people that live there, but there's so many assholes there, and it's just cutthroat. And you know, Orange County's okay, and there's parts that are okay, but it's just the traffic and the pollution, and so I was hating life. And Gigi was also hating life because her reality show got canceled, and she was looking for work, and she didn't have work for like a year. And so I was trying to pay all the bills, all the credit card bills, just off of street performing, and we just couldn't do it. And you know, she was frustrated and sad, and I was frustrated and sad, and you know, when I combine the two, it's just recipe for disaster. But we continued on and tried our best, and I started traveling to other places for work. I got booked for the World Buskers Festival. I was super stoked. One of the biggest and best festivals in the world. And I've been trying to get in for years, and finally got in. And so I went over there, and I was gone for like a month because I swung by Sydney and worked there too, because I knew I could make some money and we needed it. And you know, when I was gone, like, she just got lonely, And I don't blame her. I mean, that's what happens when you're apart from someone. And she ended up falling in love with the producer. It's like just a typical Hollywood actress story. Like, yeah. So I got back and found out, and I won't go into the details, but I was devastated, and I still loved her and wanted to, make things work, but she was not willing to try, and I even made a video for her, just begging her back, and that's still on YouTube now, but it's a private link. But if you send me a message, I'll probably send it to you if you want to watch that. But get out the tissues. So yeah, so we ended up getting a divorce, and it sucked at the time for 6 months, up to a year maybe. I was just sad and depressed, and but this is where the good news happens. I ended up getting a van. My first van, an Astro van. My dad helped me fix it up and put a bed in it. And I started doing the van life, and I did the Colorado Trail on my unicycle. And that's what really just set me free. I learned on that trip to not only forgive her for what had happened, because I'm just giving you like some of the details. There's a lot of other details, of course, that every relationship has. And, I'm not trying to make her look like the bad one or anything. It takes two to make a relationship work, and I wasn't there, and I wasn't giving her what she needed and wanted. And on my solo trip on the Colorado Trail, I learned that I needed to forgive her and me. And I think that was the most important part. Like, I had to learn that, it was my fault too, and it's okay that I failed, that I don't know, I failed. And after that trip, I was started to be happy again. I was okay with myself, and I found myself again, and I started traveling around in my van, and it was just nice to be free and do what I wanted, and it was just like pressure off my shoulders, and I was like, okay, this is cool. I was performing, I was in a better mood, I was starting to date again, and it was great, for a year or two. And then all of a sudden this German girl fell in my lap. I was at the World Unicycling Championships in San Sebastian, having a good time. I ended up spraining my foot again. For some reason I meet girls when I sprain my foot. Maybe I should sprain my foot again on this trip or something. But I ended up meeting Jana from Germany. She was beautiful. She was a world champion unicyclist, and we just hit it off. It was awesome. We just had a really good connection. She was tall, beautiful, long hair, just everything I wanted, basically, in a girl. I mean, she's a unicyclist. Like, how cool is that? And so she came over, and she lived in my Astro van with me, and was a ski bum for a month or two, and wore like the rainbow white jumpsuit that I have. Like, so it was just awesome. Like, oh, that was so cool. And so we started dating, and because she was from Germany and I was from here, it was kind of hard for me to be there with her all the time and her with me. So we would spend a month or two on together all the time, and then a month or two off, and back and forth. And it was kind of nice because then you get like a month or two of like full on just awesomeness, and you have limited time, so you're not gonna fight, you're not gonna argue, you're gonna make the most out of it. And we did, and it was awesome. And then when we're away from each other, that's kind of nice too, because then you kind of do what you want and have your space. And so that worked out for a while. And I convinced her to be a performer because I knew she was a good unicyclist, and she saw how much fun I was having. And she was going to school to be a teacher, but she ended up dropping out of college and went to circus school in Madrid, and she did that for 2 years. And I would visit for a month or 2 or 3 and hang out and do muni rides, and she was awesome. She still is. And then I think what broke that is I decided to do the Appalachian Trail. And I think that's what ended our relationship, because I was selfish. I wanted to do something, and of course we talked about it and stuff, and kind of agreed that this is the best time for me to do it if I was gonna ever do it, because she kind of has bad knees and couldn't do it in the future. And my friends were doing it, and she was still in circus school, and so I thought we could make it work. I don't know. I think she thought we could make it work too, and we tried. And for me, it was okay because I'm older and more patient, and I'm doing this epic adventure and trail. And for her, it was a bit harder, I think, because she was in school, and she's younger and doesn't have the patience that I have. And I think it was hard for her. I mean, it was hard for me too, but it was definitely harder for her. And by the time I finished, I could just feel things were different. They weren't the same, and it hurt. Yeah, it sucked. I mean, the trail was awesome, but to lose one of the most amazing persons in this world was a big bummer. But we continued. We had this huge plan of going to Australia and getting a van and traveling for 7 months and street performing, and so that's what we did. And it was awesome. It was great. Especially at first, it was like we saw each other again and sparks flew, and it was great. And we bought this big old transit van, and we toured Australia and saw all these amazing cool things and swam every day. And I was her coach, kind of. I was teaching her how to street perform, but it was almost too much. It was too, go from not seeing each other for 6 months, and all of a sudden, for 7 months, you're with each other every single day. I'm kind of teaching her. I'm her coach. I'm her boyfriend. I'm her lover. We would do muni rides and juggle. So, like, we do hobbies together. Like, we never got time apart, which, it was just kind of tough that we never got our time alone to you know, it's just, I mean, it was awesome. We rarely ever fought and stuff, but I think to make a relationship work, you need a little bit of space and a little bit of time alone. So, yeah, after 7 months, this coronavirus hit, and we were over there, and it was March, April. Yeah, April. And we kind of had like this summer plan to hang out in Europe and do some festivals and tour around, but everything got canceled, and then we had to figure out what we wanted to do. Like, did we both want to go home, or did we want to stay in Australia? Or it was tough, and I'm not blaming Corona on us breaking up, but it definitely put pressure on our future, and we talked about it, and she was like, I really kind of want to be based in Germany and be around family and raise a family and stuff, and I totally understand that, and that's cool, but I wanted something different. I wanted to travel and still have a family, but just have a traveling family and homeschool, and so we just had both different like endpoints in life or whatever, and so we said, well, let's just go our separate ways. And it was weird because it's the first relationship where we both agreed that it's best to not be together, and it's hard because I don't know if that is the best choice. Like, I still think about it all the time on trail, and because she's everything I want, but I've learned on trail that I'm selfish. Like, I do what I want, and you know, I don't want to live somewhere I don't want to live, and it sucks and it hurts because I think about the future, and you know, I don't know if I'll ever find someone that wants what I want, and it's kind of sad, and it's, you know, and I'm not willing to sacrifice what I want right now because I have, you know, I love my life. I love traveling. I love exploring the world, and I don't want to settle down in one place. And I just don't know if I'll ever find someone that is like me and can do that, or wants to do that. You know, sometimes I want kids, sometimes I don't want kids. I think it would be awesome, but I also know it's a lot of work and a lot of sacrifices. I think I can make it work, traveling and homeschooling and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I'm on trail. I've thought about Gigi and Yana, and I just think, like, will I ever find someone that likes van life and wants to go on these hikes and unicycle adventures or bike adventures? And for a while I was like pretty down and pretty depressed, and I was like, no, I'm gonna be lonely forever. But then I met a couple cool people along the way, and they're like doing the van life, and I saw some couples doing it, and I saw, yeah, a bunch of van lifers, bikers that are just out there adventuring, and I guess I just need to find someone that can can work, remotely, and likes to do some of the things I like, maybe not everything, but rock climb or mountain bike, unicycle, and just travel and explore the world. And I hope that I'll find someone. And if not, I'm pretty content with being by myself. It'd be nice to have a friend or a girlfriend or whatever. But it doesn't even have to be a girlfriend. It can just be a friend. So if you're out there, if you're watching this and van life sounds good to you and you can work remotely or you can take time off and want to explore the world or go on some adventures, whether it's hiking, biking, mountain unicycling, skiing or snowboarding, that's a big plus. Let me know. Whether you're a girl, a guy, black, white, old, young, I'm just looking for friends, just looking for people that want to hang out and have some fun, and yeah. So the whole point of this, there's not really a point, to be honest. It's just me telling you what I think. Like every day I think about this stuff. I think about past relationships and why they failed, and was it the right decision? And some days it's tough. It's like, was it? I don't know. Was it? I wouldn't change anything. Like I've had amazing, 15 years, or so, and I still love them both. Like I wish them the best, and I know Gigi has a kid, and that's what she really wanted, and that's awesome. So congrats to her. I'm glad that she's happy. And it's still funny, like when you Google my name, like the first thing that pops up for images is me and her together. Just weird. And I'm not trying to say any of this to brag or whatever. I'm just telling you my story and what's happened, and it's, I don't know. I just hope that I can find someone that likes to travel and can travel like most people can't, and it makes me like hesitant to start any relationships and like contact girls that I may like. There's one in Minnesota that I'm pretty keen of, but I don't want to like break her heart because I know that I'm gonna be gone a lot, and so do I not even try? Do I not even put the effort in? And I don't know. Or do I tell her up front the situation? And yeah, it can be confusing at times. So yeah. And Yana just got in circus school in France for the next 3 years, so congrats to her. I wish her the best. She's amazing unicyclist and performer, and we still chat, we still talk and stuff, and it's kind of funny. Of course, when we broke up, we're like, well, if we don't find anyone in a couple years, then let's get back together. But that's wishful thinking, I think. But yeah, the moral of the story is I'm a selfish person, I think, and it kind of sucks, but I want to do what makes me happy, and I want to find someone that likes the same stuff that I do and has the same outlook on life and wants the same things and stuff. Yeah, okay, now I'm just rambling. Yeah, if you're still with me, wow. If you have any advice, any input to this video, comment below. Like I said, I still don't know if I'm gonna post it. It's a long video, it's like 35 minutes. But yeah, I think a lot on the trail. These are some of my thoughts. I have more. Again, I may or may not do another one, I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, that's some of my deep thoughts. And you know, maybe I'm a hopeless romantic. Whatever, I mean, I don't want you to feel sorry for me because I love my life and I think it's amazing. And if I have to do it on my own, cool. You know, I prefer to have a partner, but it is what it is. And I'm just gonna keep doing what I love, and hopefully someone will also love what I do and join me. Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? Maybe I'll die tomorrow on a car accident. I don't know. You know, life is unpredictable. So, you know, I hope I live to be 100, but I'm just gonna do the best that I can and try to enjoy life to the fullest.
Are here to stay when the sun smiles in my face. I can't complain, but hey, oh, I still miss you. And when the mountains make me smile, they make me smile for quite some time. I know I'll be fine, but hey, oh, I still miss you. And for now, I haven't found a way to feel okay. And I know that we all have to go our own ways, but hey, oh, I still miss you. And I still miss you. I take on in this air and look out to that painted sky. The scene fills me and I breathe, but I still miss you. the only time I found is when that sun goes down. There's no one around, but hey, oh, I still miss you. And for me, I haven't found a way to feel okay. And I know that we all have to know our own ways. But hey, oh, I still miss you. And I still miss you. Oh, I still miss you. And I still miss you. Angel rays are here to stay. When that sun smiles in my face, I can't complain. But hey, oh, I still miss you.